I was at a point where I was not satisfied with my life, not satisfied with the way I was living. Christianity was for me nothing more than culture. Was living out like Christmas, Easter, all these kind of things that has no religious backup. I just had this sense of Philip, just go to the masjid. I just had this peace of mind, peace of heart when I was entering the masjid, when I was seeing basically Khalifa for the first time. We have Khilafat. We have something based upon the Quran. We have something that guides us every day through our everyday life. It's life-changing. You can't deny this fact that this is the truth. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Phillip Shahid. I'm 20 years old. I am from Germany and I was raised a Christian and now accepted Islam Ahmadiyya 1 year ago. My upbringing was I was raised a Christian. My biological father died when I was 5 years old and my mother met Ahmadiyya and who she married, and he was basically raising me up with my mother. But the religious upbringing was was coming from my grandmother and my mother, who were Christians, who also take me to church kind of things, to activities with them, and I was basically a Christian since I was maybe probably 15. I started to question a lot of things. So I was basically taught by my mother to read a lot of things, to read a lot of books. I was reading since I was a little kid, all kind of things, and also like religious books, also from all kind of perspectives, from all kind of teachings. And I started to develop a sense of like asking, reflecting, and basically I was not okay with how I was raised, with the things I was raised with, the things I was told, and I asked myself a lot of questions, and I came to the point that it makes basically Christianity is not something for me and doesn't make sense to me, like the death of Jesus or the cultural aspects. Like Christianity was for me nothing more than culture. Was living out like Christmas, Easter, all these kind of things that has no religious backup. And so I basically started questioning when I was 15, but I was doing my own things. Like I didn't put those things I was reading not in my everyday life. So I started to doing my own things till I was like 19 years old, and I was at a point where I was not satisfied with my life, not satisfied with the way I was living. And I started to basically read more about religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, all these kind of things. And there was this point, I was doing my A-levels and I was sitting in class on a Friday at 12 o'clock probably. And I just had this sense of, Philip, just go to the masjid in Heilbronn. Just visit and then just have Jummah with them. And I was going out of class and I was going to the bus stop and I was driving there. And my father called me and he said, "Where are you going? Where are you going? You're not here," because I was not at time at home, like normal. And I was saying to him, I'm going to Jummah. And he was like nervous, like, "Where are you going?" Maybe he thought maybe I go to some Sunni or some other masjid. But I told him I go to the Ahmadi masjid. And he was just quiet. I remember this silence like forever in my life. He was just quiet and saying, "Okay." And then he just hang up. And I was since this Friday, this was like 1.5 years ago, I'm going, alhamdulillah, regularly every Friday to Jummah and experience every day more and more about Ahmadiyyat, because I had like 0% knowledge about Ahmadiyyat. I just had this peace of mind, peace of heart when I was entering the masjid, when I was seeing basically Khalifa for the first time at Jummah, when the people told me there's MTR and you can watch the Jummah, and I was listening to all these words and I was reading a lot of books. Basically, one of the best books I've read so far is Jesus in India. It's for Christian now mobile who have a Christian background. I talked a lot about this book with a few Namobine. They say it's one of the best books. It's life-changing because if you're reading this book, you need to open up the Bible simultaneously and also have this book next to you. Read the chapters and compare it to what is standing in the Bible, that you have the sense of this is the truth that is standing there. This is really how it is written in the context. And if you're doing this, I was writing sentences, notice to myself, like, really, okay, this chapter. And it was a life-changing experience for me. And if you have this truth, if you have this in your mind, there is no going back. You have it, and even if there's a point at which you maybe are not confirmed with the teachings of Ahmadiyya, you can't deny this fact that this is the truth. But every day, alhamdulillah, I'm making more and more steps towards perfection, I hope so, towards Islamic perfection, towards the true teaching of Islam, and alhamdulillah. So basically, the non-Ahmadi Muslims, they have this confusion and this little kind of aggression in their heart. They don't know, they don't have this guidance that we have. We have Khilafat, we have something based upon the Quran, we have something that guides us every day through our everyday life, that tells us what to do, and they don't have it. So basically, they're confused walking through life, finding their teachings, finding their teachers to teach them through Islam, but they're never going to end up on the point where they'll be satisfied with what the people will tell them. I talk also a lot with non-Ahmadi Muslims, and everybody just have this confusion, have this, is this really the truth? How you do it, how they really are based upon not the true teachings of Islam, based upon hadith, based upon scholars' opinions, everything like that. And it's hard to find a point. It's hard to find a way you can agree maybe with the other one. And we have Khilafat, and they see it, and they think about it, and they probably want it too, but their heart, they're not at the point where their heart can accept it. Inshallah, the Islamic Ummah will get to this point that they accept Islam Ahmadiyya and or Khilafat. I would say to Christians, I tell them a lot to just read your book, know what there is in there, know what's basically the background, know where it's from, know the history behind it. If you know it, and if you live like that, I tell them, go that way. Basically, be a Christian, be a good Christian, go that way. But understand what there's written in these books. If you understand it, if you fully understand it, you will realize that it's nothing compared to the teachings of the Quran. And basically, take these books next to you, take them on the table, left side the Bible, right side the Quran, compare to each other, and you will get to the point where you understand what's the truth if Allah guides you to that way.